In my own experiences, what I've learned about life recently is that it rewards you for being present. And I think that this is very interesting because think about when you're not present. Maybe you're caught up in the past or the future, right? With that, there's either something like regret in play. Of course, that is if it's a negative experience in regards to not being present. It's either regret or it's maybe fear, right? You're anticipating an event in the future. Here's what's interesting. When you look at how things go about, how your experiences unfold when you're present, right? You don't have regret. You're not caught up in the past. There's no fear of the future or anticipation. You're just here in the present moment, right? And one of the most important aspects of my journey of healing has been being present. More so, well, I should say one of the reasons being is because I felt like growing up, I had a very difficult time being present for reasons that I will not mention in this video because boundaries are important to me. But it's very interesting to look at life through the lens of presence, right? Because if you ask the average person, like, do you want to regret life? They're probably going to say no. Do you want to be afraid of life? Do you want to be anticipating, right? Sometimes anticipation can be exhilarating, right? It can be a thrill, right? Maybe it's exciting, right? But the interesting thing is that when you look at the future, right? The amount of times that I've had anxiety or, depression or whatever it is, and my mind has been in the future. The amount of times that whatever it is that I've been anticipating has not actually happened is a lot. And that says a lot about illusion, right? And also a lot about, well, the present moment is right here. You could be present. And not only that either, too, but like the amount of times that I have anticipated something in the future and I get myself all excited for it, right? And then it's just not actually as sweet as I thought it would be, right? And then there's dissatisfaction. It's like, oh. And all the while, I wasn't present. There's this saying, I heard it on social media, I think it was Instagram. Be where your feet are. That means pick your head up and put your phone down. I have nothing against technology or social media or the way that things are unfolding in terms of social media. I think social media is one of the coolest things that we've seen in a long time, actually. I am not about the, like, oh, it's changing us. No, it's not changing us. If anything, it's exposing us. Um, and I also don't believe that you're not being present if you are scrolling on social media. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? It's a matter of being present with what it is that you're doing. I just brought up the matter of be where your feet are. That means pick your head up and put your phone down. Again, not against technology. I think technology is awesome. I think social media is awesome. I think that you can be present while scrolling on social media. I do. The only reason I brought that up was because it's a matter of, like, being present and what happens to the mind and body when you are present, right? When you're not anticipating a future event, when you're not worrying about a past that you can't change, right? You learned. Something happened. You learned. It's cool. Anyway, um, the more I've really taken this into consideration and have become present with life, life has not only rewarded me in terms of, not having anxiety and stuff, but also, like, the unfolding of events, right? Life takes care of you when you're present. And I believe that that's because we came here to be present. I do. I think that life is about being present. What's the point of being in a space of awareness that no longer exists? Right? The past. Or, well, of course, for healing purposes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But then not only that, but unconsciously, what's the point of being in a space of awareness, the future, that hasn't arrived yet, that doesn't exist yet? And of course, you can do that consciously. You can consciously plan for an anticipated future. But the present moment, right? When you're actually present with what it is that you're doing, when you are where your feet are, right? And you can be where your feet are and scrolling. You might be seeing something on social media that's from, an hour ago, hours ago, yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, whatever it is. You can still be present. What's important here is bringing all of the focus, awareness, and energy back to the self and into the body, right? And not regretting so much, right? Not being so stuck in the past, not being worried about a anticipated future that hasn't even arrived yet, that quite honestly and very likely is not going to be what it is that you anticipate it to be. You ever have that happen before, where it's like you're anticipating a future event, right? You are worried about it, right? You're having you're having anxiety about it and everything, right? And then it comes, and then you're like, oh. And then it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. or it's not as good as you thought it was going to be, right? That happens too. Um, so presence, it's available to everyone. And if you put in the work to, I don't want to say whether or not it's easy to be present, but I'll tell you right now, and I can probably speak for many people, the mind likes to pull us into itself, right? And I think that what we really need to do is bring ourselves back into our bodies. That's where the presence is.